Hello there my RPG lovers and welcome to another video.
Target acquired.
Wow,
Target engaged.
I should have become an engineer.
Target destroyed. Hasta la vista, baby.
This has to be the worst thing that I played in a while, man. I don't even know where to begin. Two Worlds 2 came out in 2010, but here we are with another DLC. Why, you may ask? Because money, my boy, money! Look, it takes a lot to get me mad, you really have to screw up completely. Shattered Embrace is the most unfinished and unoptimized piece of downloadable content that I had the displeasure to play. And I'm speaking as someone who actually enjoyed playing the game when it came out. But what's exactly wrong with this DLC? Well, let's begin, shall we?
Previously on Two Worlds 2.
It starts with this epic cutscene where you block a machete with your bare hands and then you kill this red dude with a precise karate chop to the neck. We can pretend that this makes sense, but what's with the sound effects?
Where one trouble ends, another begins.
Well, you can say that again. By the way, why is my character flashing in the middle of a cutscene?
Seek to conquer.
Yeah, anyway, this is probably the best scene to talk about that engine update. If you didn't know already, this DLC comes with a major engine update. Let's see, detailed high-resolution models and crisp textures. Look, this is an old game, but I swear it looked much better in 2010 before this major engine update. And also the performance is so bad, it basically makes the game unplayable, but more about that later. Hey look, it's my character again. The guy who is voicing Orias is actually pretty decent, so we have to give them credits for that at least.
And it was only through the portals that I could follow them.
Right after this introduction cutscene, another one begins. And nothing is voice acted, and their lips are not moving at all. You're maybe thinking it's okay, I can handle a little bit of reading, and they didn't have a big budget to hire voice actors, so you learn to accept this, right? But I guess they had to include some sound effects to not make this weird, so they thought old static TV sound would do the trick. After this not at all awkward cutscene ends, we end up on the island with another cutscene. But
I thought you couldn't recall anything about the island.
I couldn't,
now it's voice acted. I know we already talked about the visuals, but holy shit, that engine update is great. Okay, the cutscene ends and we finally get to play this game. Kinda. I wonder where I need to go, but it could be on that big white flashing effect in the distance, This is some genius level design. You have to walk for about 20 meters to enter another cutscene. After you already saw like 2 cutscenes so far.
Well, looks friendly enough. Hold still. Maybe it'll go away.
Some genius writing here as well. After you let Darfa kill this thing, you will learn how dialogue works in this DLC. And yeah, of course, now you don't have a voice. To make things worse, in 90% of dialogue situations you only have one option to select. They didn't make the conversation automatic in those cases, but why? Well, I can give you 2 reasons for that. There is nothing wrong with a silent main character, actually most people prefer it that way. But the game likes to pretend that your character has a voice, which means you have to select your dialogue line and then you awkwardly wait as your character is pretending to speak.
Yeah, full of ironite.
This will keep happening in all dialogue scenarios unless you press B to skip it. They probably planned to record the voice for everything but ran out of time or something. The dialogue system is all over the place and I can't decide what's the worst thing about it. Bad writing, weird camera angles, pretending like you have a choice in conversations, awkward silence, etc, etc. Oh yeah, and by the way, you will silently mumble generic lines in certain situations.
There always seems to be a few more than you kill. Don't say it, I warn you.
That's the voice of the original voice actor and those lines are just recycled and implemented in this DLC. So you can hear your character talking with himself but not with other people because logic. Anyway, you keep progressing through this linear introduction and you have to keep moving, otherwise you'll get one-shotted by these things. Wait, what's this? press jump to move faster. What? Moving on, we got more cutscenes with no sound effects at all. And right after that you get another one, but fully voiced. Except their lips are not moving at all. Again.
Oh, shit.
Are you okay?
Yeah, but it's following us.
It's just a stupid machine. It won't stop unless it bumps into something.
I really thought I was going to quit here, but I still wanted to give this DLC a chance because I'm a nice guy. Before we arrive at the main location of this DLC, there is one more awkward silent cutscene and Orias joins your party once again. Then this guy takes your whole party to see the king, and while you're following him, he'll interrupt you to say to follow him because genius gameplay design.
Follow me. Their Royal Highnesses have been made aware of your presence.
His walk animation is top quality, by the way. This king dude is Darfa's father and they start talking on Elvish, I guess. And Darfa sounds like she's not entirely convinced that any of those words actually mean something.
Eli, Donalewa, Lakunlian, Lanlewa.
Darfa.
After you talked with everyone, you get this token which will allow you to visit different districts of the city, but only after your token upgrades, which will happen after you finish a quest. By the way, before you enter a new district, you have to show your token to the guard. And I guess you already noticed that frame rate, right? I lowered the settings to medium and I still get around 20 frames per second on average. I know that my GTX 1060 is nothing special by today's standards, but I'm pretty sure it can handle a game from 2010. But we forgot that new engine update, now it makes sense. The performance basically makes the game unplayable for me. And let's just quickly mention the gameplay before I end this nightmare of a video. You start the game on level 80 with bunch of attributes and skill points to spend. I went with the ranger playstyle, so I dumped most of my points into those skills. But the feeling of character progression is almost non-existing, at least in the first couple of hours. I didn't play more because I would probably kill myself. You get bombarded with healing potions everywhere you go, which makes it really easy to progress as you just run, shoot your bow and pop potions. I quite enjoyed the gameplay in the main campaign, but I can't say the same for this DLC. It maybe becomes better after the game opens up more, but I can't claim that because I didn't get to experience the whole DLC. Even the biggest fans of this game can't defend this crap. And that sums up my experience with this DLC. Is it worth 13 euros or 15 bucks? Only if you're a masochist or something. Stay far away from this thing. I talked about this franchise in my previous video and I mentioned why I think that 2 Worlds 3 is doomed, so check that out if you're interested. That would be it, I guess. Press the thumbs up if you enjoyed this nightmare of a video and subscribe for more content. Click on the bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads. Special thanks to my Patreons and YouTube exclusive members, and if you as well want to become one of them, all the links are in the description. And I'll see you in the next one.